Stay tuned and let's take a look at this Marvel Legends retro carded The Amazing Spider-Man Bombastic Bag-Man. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we are taking a look at this Marvel Legends retro carded The Amazing Spider-Man Bombastic Bag-Man, which is a name that was bestowed upon this one-off character design that was intended nothing more than to be a joke, but has took on this whole cult following and has popped up in all forms of Marvel media over the years, and now finally we have it in the Marvel Legends 6-inch scale. I believe we had it in the Marvel Ultimates line a good few years back, but for the first time it is in the 6-inch format, and I am very happy to add, yes, Peter Parker is underneath that brown paper bag. We've got the bare feet, we've got the kick me sign, and it's on the glorious retro card as well. So no complaints from me, but I will explain all about this costume very shortly. But let's just take a second to look at the glorious packaging. Retro cards, long live the retro cards. On the back of the packaging, we get an image and we get a little write-up that reads, "Left without a costume, a desperate Peter Parker dons a spare Fantastic Four uniform and a brown paper bag, and so the Bombastic Bag-Man was born." So, as I said, always fun to add these type of deep cuts and Easter eggs into the collection. So yeah, without further ado, let's get it open. Here we have the Bag-Man out of the packaging with those accessories that I've already pointed out. An interchangeable set of wall crawling hands and then a kick me sign. Now, this design just makes me laugh because the first time I ever seen this was in like the original PS1 Spider-Man game before I had any idea what it was in reference to. So it does make me smile and give me a little bit of nostalgia seeing it now in the 6-inch line. But let's have a look at the height. It is on the old Reed Richards body. I will show you that shortly. But the bag does sort of take him just over the 6.5-inch scale, but again, it is spot on to be fair. So yeah, what's this guy all about? So let's check out those accessories and then I'll explain. And as if a paper bag isn't embarrassing enough, we also get this kick me sign, which is very crudely done. I like how they've added like a little bit of tape on there as well. So this has a peg on and you literally plug it in to the hole on the back of the figure. And there you go. It looks legit. That is a nice touch and accurate to the comic appearance of the Bag-Man as well. So yeah, nice accessory. But if I spin it around, we can take an actual look at the bag itself because there is a face actually sculpted under there. Now the bag is not removable of course, but it is nicely done. You can see all the creases on it. You can see the folds in the paper up top as well. You can even see the little ridges down here as well. So yeah, this genuinely looks like a paper bag you would find at a grocery store, as our American friends would say. Or maybe, don't you buy liquor and have to have it in a brown paper bag, which is weird, something that doesn't happen in the UK. But it is nicely done all the same. You can see the creases on each side. But yeah, it's what else can I say? It looks like a brown paper bag with two little holes, and you can actually see the sculpted eyes under there. So bravo. So other than that, this is the same exact Reed Richards body that we have. Now, in the actual storyline, this was an old uniform, like one of the original Fantastic Four uniforms where it was black and blue before they came out of the negative zone and it went white and blue and they decided to stick with it. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is the Reed Richards body. The arms will pop out if you wanted to do that, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, there you go. The only difference is from Reed, of course, is you see his toes. Now, these are probably reused from somewhere as they do look a little bit too big on his skinny legs, but still, it works. It does the job. They've got a little bit of blue painted on there for the straps of the uniform. But yeah, other than that, it's the feet all the way up to the blue, bit of black for the bout, and there is a waist swivel, of course, and then some black for the gloves and on the wrists, and then around the collar as well, of course. So yeah, all in all, really good. He comes with a set of fisted hands and a set of open palm wall crawling hands. Now, if I'm being greedy, it would have been nice to get some like swipping hands, as he does fight crime during the story of him wearing this outfit. Only very briefly though, but there you go. All the same, nice to have some options. And just to confirm, here we have Bag-Man compared to Reed Richards. This is the Walgreens exclusive version, as it is the most similar uniform uniforms. The blues are slightly off, but you get the gist. The only difference is Reed is wearing the black boots and he's got the flat shoes on, where the Bagman has his toes out, of course. And if you spin around, you can see the Reed doesn't even have a hole in the back. So they did add that to make sure that you could plug the Kick Me sign in. But overall, they did a great job. And if you've got this figure, then you know what type of articulation this figure has. And to be fair, it's not too bad. Probably not the best for a Spider-Man figure, but it's still got a decent enough range where you can get Bagman into some fun poses. But why is Peter Parker wearing a Fantastic Four uniform in the first place? Let's try and explain. The Bagman costume originated in the Amazing Spider-Man 258. Not long after Secret Wars, Peter was still wearing his all-black costume, but noticed something was wrong, so went to his friend Reed Richards for help. They realised it was alive, helped him remove the costume, but Peter was left with nothing to wear. So Johnny Storm, being the funny guy that he is, gave him an old Fantastic Four uniform, a brown paper bag to help hide his identity, and just to rub salt in the wounds, stuck a Kick Me sign on his back and sent him on his way. To Peter's embarrassment, he had to stop a robbery on the way home in this costume, and since that day this costume design has built a cult following and has appeared in all different forms of Marvel pop culture media. There you go, such a fun random origin which was intended nothing more to be a one-issue joke, but here we are all these years later and we now have it in figure form. And remember, Peter's not deformed underneath that paper bag, he just wears it to hide his identity, so you can pop on there an unmasked Peter Parker head if you have one. This is from the Renew Your Vows 2-pack and he can hold the paper bag no problem at all. Just spin it around so you can't see the eye hole. Here we have Peter with a couple of members of the Fantastic Four, the ones that helped him remove that pesky symbiote suit in the first place. It is Reed Richards and Johnny Storm, and even though these three are not wearing the same uniform, remember that is accurate to the comic appearance, because in that appearance they gave him an old costume, so they had the white collar and then Peter had the black collar, so this is accurate. And just to round out the rest of the Fantastic Four, here we have Sue and Ben. And of course, here we have Bagman compared to a couple of versions of Spider-Man. We have the regular Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, and then of course the symbiote suit Spider-Man. That is the retro version. And remember, that is the whole reason he's wearing this stupid get-up in the first place, because he wanted that symbiote suit off. And I don't know about you, but this figure is going straight into a Spider-Verse shelf. So here we have Spider-Man UK and Ben Reilly. Here we have Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy. Let's wrap up with some Spider villains. Here we have Venom and Kraven. And here we have the very recent Retro Lizard and Retro Scorpion. Go and check out my full review of both of them on the channel now. Here we have Retro Iron Man and the 20th Captain America. And I'm not gonna lie, Bagman sort of fits into this ragtag team, doesn't he? So here we have some of the Who crew with Frogman, Tigra and White Rabbit. And then last but absolutely never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. Final thoughts on this Marvel Legends, The Amazing Spider-Man Bombastic Bag-Man. Now, I think the name Bombastic was added like way later. He was originally just like Bagman Spider-Man, but still, this is a fun figure. And let's be honest, do you need it in your collection? No, of course you don't. But that's what makes Marvel Legends so fun. You have the option to add such a deep cut fun Easter egg to your collection and to your Spider-Verse displays. And I think this is reused done right, where nothing too crazy here. You just give a new paper bag to an old Reed Richards body and you do have an accurate variant of Spider-Man that is canon to the comics. So I'm very happy to add him to the collection. Just a fun figure for the display. But as always, you let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you like Marvel Legends, then guess what, you're in the right place. Check out the videos tab, find the playlists, but most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, don't miss out on the video, and please hit that join button, become a channel member if I show some love, or join the members club. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who, or I'm on Twitter as well. Tweet me at Dan Who Reviews. And until then, people, my name is Dan W, and I will of course see you on the next one.